Uvagut inukativo Louisa Yeates. Temani ᓐᓐᓗᓪ Mohawk Kavamakulut angitausimangitunit nunanganitu atilutu miu ᓴᓅᔮᔮനി Kanatamit Pivalliajut. Good afternoon, everyone. This is your host, Louisa Yeates, reporting to you live from the ᓐᓐᓗᓪ Mohawk unceded territory, ᓴᓅᔮᔮനി, also known as Montreal. Ulumit ᓴᓅᒃᓮᓪᓗ amissuit sivulipa ttakunalangayavut ippasaanitta ᓴᓅကိᔮკauᑎ지ᔪథ teikwa Cabot Square downtown Montreal katisiyuvinit amissuit missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and two-spirit. Tamatmingat aknait niviaksialo inwartausimayunit asiusimayunilut ikhaumaruti riosunguatta uluhattitaumahitsutalu attihasuungummiu Red Dress Day. Takwa katisiyuvinit takunalangayavut ammalo Kanatamit Pivalliajut inukativut kanuilulit mangata tamani Montrealmi silaktroamilu tarakingulipaulangayu takunalangayavut aqlialiusimayavut mios kamenkunit pulariasimatilluta uhahatihatsiatillutalu Larissa teikuna angiyuqariosungummiu ammalo pinasuhatinga Jen ⓴ħita program kuni angiyuqariosungummiu kinakunit saputjisungumangata tamani Montrealmi tusamaviritsiniaqtavu hainakomitiailunasi tungasutiaritsi asuruli ippasaani May 5 ngutileru taana uluhattitausungummiu aknait niviaksialut ammalo teikwa maqhuni piusini tirumiasu aknanit angutiulu uluhattitausungummiu Red Dress Day tamani mio iskri project ilawningitiuqalo iskiu project takuningani kamatitsiyuvinit nuititsiyuvini pisuttunit. Up next, we're going to watch a short video of the missing and murdered Indigenous girls and women's march on May 5th. Enjoy.
No more stolen sisters. No more stolen sisters sitting under the rubble for oligarchs to get rich, for the greed of the rich. This is why we are in this spot. To all our sisters, Indigenous and non-Indigenous sisters, we are with you. We support you. And we will go till our dying breath to make sure that there are no more stolen sisters anywhere on this beautiful Mother Earth.
To speak their names, to listen to Inuit voices, and to stand in support of change led by Indigenous communities. Let us carry this forward, not just today, but every day, with intention, with respect, and with the commitment to ensure that Inuit and Indigenous women are safe, valued, and never forgotten. One of the big issues that I've been dealing with over a decade of work against sexual exploitation is that not only has the violence against our women continued, it has now evolved into the form of human trafficking. It's really a hard reality considering the majority of the women from up north and our community members who are stricken by poverty are being sexually exploited in one way or another. And I've made it my life to work against these real violent barriers that we have to face by facing poverty and by fighting for change, and to break the silence that keeps all of our people in these perpetuate states of cycles with the drug traffickers, the sex traffickers, who before also with the government. We have government workers who are abusing and using our women in rural communities. We have people of all levels of government who are abusing our women and children and procuring services from our children. It is time that we stand together to fight against these problems and to break the silence. And I hope that people will start to look out for each other, and the men in our community will start to look out for the women and stand up to protect them and not exploit them as much as the government exploits us.
Hei, nakamitia inuhatika. Tavani ilaut suni siung yupalo silop miyo. Aleanak tupalo sunilu. Inuhati vuami surata ohomayu davanit. Ammalunu na hakasi mayuit. Tusamaretustilot. Ingisimaretustilo. Aleanak tupalo yuvini. Ilaw ningiturala rumatsungalu huitu naktupalo. Minuk nuvat tepalo hatta so ilaw ningi tugalua. Kisiani tanna nui tirumatsuru. I wanted to show you guys a map. Takwa ngutilutit ᓵᓃnaauп numna hakasi mayuni damani Quebec meet. Kalunai to Quebec Native Women's Association. Tamatuminga, nui riutsatito yuvini May 31 utilugu 2026. Nui ditsisia yuvini umiyut hatsinit inuartausimayunit asiusimayunit nunakasimayuit takuningani different regions imwani. Takwa kisitsirutit 1950s mi piriatilut ulumimut 2026 mut. Kisitsi titausimayo. Ipirusutialangavosi takwa nunavimi 39 mi allasimayut. Anginipautilugu takuningani limat kapianaktu. Harimayo tia hutsirulu takwa pimariunipau hutirimiyakka. Aknau lot ni viaksia lot. Inuartausimayunit asiusimayuinillo. kisiani amisuni sawatautuinariali ilunnangit polisiku haptosiasungungimmataq hayumayohuqmat hey ammalo takwa May 4 ngutilugu Honorable Governor General Mary Simon takuningani National Summit on Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls and Two-Spirit Summit kuni unikaritu layummiyut uhatsia simaritu sunilut pimariunipau nginnato kita pikisiani usimangittakwa angiyumahi ngummiyut takwalu hayumayautia huyo sunguli miyu Kanatamit Pivalliajut sunguyu ni ᓴᓅꓮᓮ saputiautia ni ᓴᓅꓮᓮ Tanna Summit katingayumarik namanatia loyumiyu tamatsuminga Red Dress Day May 5 ngulatilugu ammalu katisisiungumiyut takwa temeitukusi mammata ilarit ammalu takwa pinasuhatirisiungunilimaktu advocates and families ilunangi tekani katisireitu yuwini ilunangi katitsuri langinilimahtaloyu miyu siunguyuni ᓴᓅꓮᓮ kayu singinariaha mistalu takuningani pinasuuraqni namanatia lahiloyu miyu takuninganit Honorable Governor General Mary Simon uharitu simayu dekuna May 4 ngutilugu sutaga May 5 ngutilugu asuguli Canada angayukha maringa Prime Minister Mark Carney nakutsa simayu Governor General Mary Simon mi pinasura 5 minut nukhaina la tanganilut uhalaw yumiyu nakupsasunilu halunaytitu exemplary tenure extraordinary service to Canada takuninganit pinsurapmi nukhaina riavisima Mary Mark Carney nakutsaralla sunilu tamatsumingat uhanginilima talayu kami tinumi halunaytitumillu namanatia yumiyut upirusunik Kanatamit tana akiyolok simangito tamatsuminga ininitirumialok simayunit latsia simayu Daga Mary tamatsuminga piriangatilu namanatia lahisimayo uvattinut Kanatamit ammalu lunakasimayunulut teitsmaniriangutilut takwa atihangitumit iluvitausimayuit iliniavileatitausimayui residential school takwa iluvitausimayu 215 unmarked graves haririuptitau tilu tekuna ilunata tatamitsia simatsuta ania yoalutstalu uppirusulua harunaisutalu kavama tuhakuni ania yoalu simarata tekani Mary Simon namanatia lahilaw yumiyu tamatsuminga Governor General ininganuk tuvinit uppirusunni aituiralalok simayok hopeless falungulok simatiluta tekani namanatia lahi simayu Uvagut TV kuni nakumirala rumamiburun Honorable Governor General Mary Simon tamatsuminga sapujilok simaravit uvatinilimant ini tamatsuminga ininit tirumiatiluti ammalot tananutak nuila miyut tamatsuminga Governor General ininganun former Supreme Court Justice Louisa Yeates dan atihap miyu Louisa Yeates tamatsuminga ini halap miyu ini tak titaw si matsunilu ang ayokamarinut vunni Kanatamit Prime Minister Mark Carney mi Louisa Yeates tamani Montreal mi inulilok si mayu de mga takuningani pinsuang inalimaktut Supreme Court of Justice kuni ilaw hatalo yumiyo akunialo ammalo United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights milu inihalok si mayo 31st Governor General Riola Mary Simon ta nakingulipolok si mayo sivulipolok si mayo nuna hakha si mayo ni tamatsumingan ni inini hatalok si mayo British King tungwaliariyo sungumyo damani Montreal takwa pinasura ngit amisura taw sungumyo utu titilu tamatsumingan military vunni angayo kamaririyo sungumyo ammalo legislation utu titilu angirutimit pita nuit sapat tan Governor General angiruti hatauria sungumyo saputiria hasungumyo lu tusaumaralalagalwa mea vudakuningani ammalo tamani Montreal mit nutani takhingulit miyo meengulit miyo sila tsera taw hatta sunilut alenak tipalum miyo siko harunay miyo aputi rulit mistalut aningwana tipalu hatta tu surat saya tamani Montreal mi nungok hayang ito kisianin surat sa siyo Sarovit Mount Royal upakat sa siya miyo pisuvit sa siya nice walking trails hap miyo ammalo Lasal Bird Sanctuary hasungum miyo alianak tupalo sungum miyo upakat sa siya hupanuani takunari turun na miyutit ammalo Rapids sa niya ni miyut imaw sukatwalo sungat alianak tupalo suit upakat sa siya ammalo umayunit silami takuruma rala niat sarovit Eco Zoo hasungum miyo Bay Durfemi umayui tekanit at jiring itupalo sungum miyo alianak tukalaw sungum miyo piara bunit ammalot North Muyanit utu titilu ammaruk Arctic wolves hakala sungum miyo siningik kalwapata takunyare turunang rayap miyuti culture and community damani ilukusik ammalo community May 15 ulatilo damani Montreal Sanianit Elizabeth Isaac ingretula miyut May 10 2026 ngulatilo Festival Santa Teresa me damani Saint Therese Montreal Sanianit pitun takuniagumaniat sarovit yuvitniaret runnam yuti tickets lepointdevente.com uvaluni haritaw yako Elizabeth Facebook page ngani nuitsia hattatu takwa Elizabeth Isaac akpita hattatu Kanatamit akpitagalla tala tangit harisa riatsia titerun namiyo www.elizabeth.com kumni ammalo takwa nunavimituit ilavut tusaumaruma lihattaralua sita piksingin natipalomatay inuhativut nunavimit sila ang yukariyo sungumiyo kayo mayaw tukalom miyo mahay na sungutilugo tamanagala helisa kami na to sungumiyo ang malunik le tikipalya hat tamata mahay na to siya rapyo hatta to kisya ni ilangan ni ilabot apiksimi stak si mayaw alo mata takwa haritaw yako Facebook ko post view taw kali hatta tweet ammalutay ko kang sumute sayaw ka mailakani tekani post mini takunakali hatta to nga akotit piutseng itu hatta matit ammalut upataw siya hayang isutilo imataw tim anak taw timulo ikaw ma rehatta tabot ammalut Mahainattillerut hassuru avian flu uhari rigainaraluarsiru kisiani uhaagalarumali raluarsiru Kupanua hanimarussingat avian flu nui lippaliarunnauli miyut uhattauriloyummiyu nunavimmi inuqativut ipiriutsiaruyoyavinit hanimayunit takuyutsapat atutoriaharngitu ipirusutsiariahammiyu ammalut tamatsuminganiringusuuravi irissimatsiatuinarialiin ammalut mahailaatarovit ikkaumatitauhuyouliratsit silla astippaliaruarnatuusuungummiyu sukattualummi sikkurassa teimangannatsasihuyoulimiyutit inReach or GPS ammalu satellite phone mirunnattarovit hattaritsi ammalu sikku app taanna uhalautisini aturunnatu hangatuina report viurunnaqayartu khanuiluli mangata silavu ahai alasuti hattalaarivusit kamatsiartalaatillusilu ammalut amissualit me nuilippalialimata suqatsai tamani Montrealmi amisupaaluliqataummiyuit taakuninganit satorvit ammalu SQIA Facebook page kumminit himmiqutausiaruyouli suqatsassiu hattaruvit ammalut suqatsatitsili atiliuriahattaruvit taakuningani haritauyakuqayartutit ammalu nihitsiu nihita ngusuttaruvit community food baskets takwa halunaititulayosut atiliutiariahammiuti taakuningani hei nakumitsiailunnasit haritaujakku message viuttaussiarunnaqayarturuut tussaumahuyit taruvit sunlakaani tamani Montrealvi inuhutivuni takunaalangayavu up next takunaalangayavu takkua mioskamen tamani Montrealmi atnau illuhutiriosuungummiu pinasuqatinganit Larissami oha hatihatsiarunnasiloyuvunga pinasuqatingalu Jen teikani ßaravqitākunit angiuqhaariossuungummiyu taanna khalunaitituuqalua kisiani imtitu mi uhakeenaapillankaluartunga khanuittumi uhakeenamangata kisiani taana tukisiriutsiaruyiraqku takkua atnei tavanimiut 50% nunavimiutsajait inutuineit amissualuit tavanimiungummiyu utuutitillerut ilangani takkua atnei himaavimu airit sapata women's shelter tamani Montrealmi ilunnangi programmi pieret sapat tamatsuminga nuurunnammiu miuskamen apartments takwalayosu takunaalangayavu teikani unnaqayaqmiyu 3 to 5 years ammalu teikua ßaravqiTā program tamatsuminga iluani suuqatsata saputiiratsani nuissuungummiyulu iluani taakuninga tavanimiuyanit ammalu Montrealmiuyani. Up next we're going to watch a short video of our colleagues of our friends there at Mioskamen and the ßaravqiTā, and it's through essential services like this that our Indigenous community members are able to access better services and stay together as a community. Nakomitia. Inuqativut tungasutiaritsi takanittugu Mioskamen kunit atnau illuhutirisuunga tamani Montrealmit pinasuqatiinginit uhahatihartsialangayavut sunaumangaat kinakuni saputiisuungumangalut harisatsialangavagun. So thank you so much for having us here today. We have Larissa, we have Jennifer, and I'm going to ask you to start by introducing yourselves, please.
Yeah, so my name is Larissa. I am the director of ᓄᓐ, which is our second stage housing program, a project of the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal. I have been working with the Native Women's Shelter of Montreal for a little over 10 years now in different capacities. I started as a frontline worker and has kind of moved through different positions to be here today. I'm Anishinaabe from Long Lake 58 First Nation on my mom's side and Jewish and Scottish on my dad's side. And I've been in Tóᓵᓃ for about 10 years now. I moved here to go to school, and I have been here ever since.
Thank you. My name is Jennifer Lee. I'm Ojibwe from Northwestern Ontario, but I grew up here in Montreal, so I'm a city girl. I'm the coordinator of care here at ᓴᓅကိᔮកា우ᑎ지ᔪథ. I've been with the Native Women's Shelter for 3 years, since the beginning of this project. I was one of the first people to come on board when this project started up.
So the ᓄᓐ is a housing unit, and the ᓴᓅကိᔮ is a service offering program.
Yeah, exactly. So we're two different projects of the Native Women's Shelter. Mm-hmm. So ᓴᓅကိᔮ works very closely with ᓄᓐ families, but it's not exclusive to the families. And actually, most of the clientele that work with ᓴᓅကိᔮ are outreach. So ᓄᓐ as a housing program doesn't have an outreach arm, so we don't, our workers work with the folks that are in the building. We have some cross collaboration with the Native Women's Shelter to provide some support we have a shared intergenerational trauma counselor that will work kind of with all of the projects. But ᓴᓅကိᔮ is really the project that does the most kind of outreach for the community.
Can you help explain a little bit more what kind of services the ᓴᓅကိᔮ program offers?
Mm-hmm. So it's a community social pediatric center. So the idea is child at the center and whatever their family looks like. So that could be mom and or dad. It could be aunties. It could be grandmas. It could be a teacher. It could be somebody they worked with, I don't know, a speech language pathologist. Everybody that is involved in that child that is significant to that child. And they come in here, and it's an interdisciplinary approach. So our team has a pediatrician, we have family support workers, we have social workers, we have an educator, we have a lawyer, and the idea is we all sit down together in a relaxed atmosphere, and sometimes we sit on the floor playing blocks, playing Legos, playing Connect 4, and we try and figure out what's going good with this kid, what does this kid love, what do they enjoy, what are they curious about. And after we establish that and trust is built, then we start looking into what are the difficulties. And so we try and put in place things that will address those difficulties. And we oftentimes will contact with the school, and sometimes we'll bring the teacher in. Or if they have an occupational therapist, we'll bring that person in. And it's all people that care about this kid. We sit down and we make a plan to see how can we help this kid get better. And during this whole development of it, there was always a plan to have programming and activities. And it was in the doing it that we realized that the programming is so much more important than we thought it was going to be. You know, it's in the community building part of all of that. The kids come together, they make new friends, they get to experience stuff that maybe they couldn't have, maybe they couldn't afford it, and the kind of stuff. And it's become a very important part of our stuff. Yeah. We also have a lawyer. I mentioned the lawyer. I'll explain a little bit about that. She doesn't do representation in court for families, but she can help the families understand their rights. And so if they have legal documentation, she can help them go through the documents so they can understand it better. So they understand their choices, they can understand their rights and their options and that sort of stuff. If they're having trouble with the landlord or something like that, the lawyer can help them prepare to fight against the landlord so that they can get the apartment to not be crappy anymore, you know, and that's the kind of thing that they do. Our lawyer also has like an extensive network of people that she can refer to. Because she doesn't do court representations, she can refer them to people that could, if that's what they need.
So, I'm sure a lot of the people who live here in the actual building access a lot of these programs, but can you let us know also who can access these programs?
Anybody that wants them, yeah. So referrals can come from all over the place, and we get referrals sometimes from schools, sometimes from DYP, but families can self-refer. And we've seen it often where we have people coming here, enjoying the services that they're getting, and then they'll tell a friend, and the friend calls, and they can self-refer themselves. And the previous client will often accompany the new mom to our space, and it's kind of nice to see, like the people are learning about us and trusting us, and it feels good.
You said anybody, but is that anybody just in Montreal, or do you guys serve beyond that?
Interesting. You know what? I'll make the point that there's many community social pediatric centers in Quebec. There's nearly about 50. We follow kind of the model of the Dr. Julian Foundation approach to social pediatrics, and they are very strict, where depending on where the person lives, that will designate what center they need to go to. But when people come to ᓴᓅကိᔮακ, because we serve an exclusively indigenous population, so First Nation, Inuit, and Métis peoples, they can live anywhere in the city and even beyond. We've got people that come to our center that don't live in Montreal, even off island, and sometimes a little beyond to come.
Do you guys collaborate with any other organizations in Montreal?
We do, or try to. It's all about community. It's all about resources. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things that we do very well, but there's a lot of other organizations that do things really well, and we don't want to take that away, and we don't want to recreate it. And it's all about community, and so we put a lot of effort into reaching out to other organizations and saying, hey, this is what we do, this is what you do, and can we do something together?
So can you explain to us what it would look like, what a woman's journey would look like from beginning to being here to exiting here?
Yeah. So in the beginning, we really want to exit that crisis mode. And so we give time and space for them to settle into the apartment, get used to having their own space, get used to having their own appliances, their own bedroom. And so that whole adjustment of kind of just grounding is what we call that, is that first phase of just understanding what it means to be living alone and getting comfortable with staff, building trust. So the first year or so is really that building trust and getting used to living here and what the rules are and engaging and that. After that, we are hoping that women start to engage with either like a work program or a school program or something regarding their empowerment plan. So they would sit down with their empowerment worker, build a plan with some goals and start working towards those goals. So after they've figured that out, then we're hoping that they would be in a program of some sort or working or in a training for a certain number of years. And then after that, finish that program and then be able to start saving money and then move out of here to an apartment of their choice with hopefully a career of their choice. And so while the rent is low here, we really want women to take advantage of that and learn about budgeting and learn about what they want their life to look like. And so we really want women while they're here to take control of their life and heal and settle and then prepare and take the time that it takes to get to the next step. And it's funny because when we first talk about 5 years and when we talk to other second stage housing programs, most second stage housing programs are like 18 months. They're not 5 years. And yet 5 years can feel so short still. Like I think of some of the people that are coming up on 5 years and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do? So we haven't reached that point yet. And so, the goal is though that they would leave empowered and leave with some new skills learned and some money saved and perhaps some debt paid off and in a better situation to kind of phase on to the next piece.
Can you help us explain to our viewers how they'd be able to start an application process to be a client here?
Yeah, so for ᓵᓐᓴ, our application is on our website. We have a link there that says apply now. If the link is not operating, it means that we're not currently taking applications. If it works and you click it and the application comes up, you can send it in. You can also keep an eye on our Facebook, on our Instagram, because we do post when we have applications that are open. Once they fill that out, they'll be invited for an interview, and then they'll go through the selection process, which includes a selection committee that kind of reviews all of the applicants. Unfortunately, we do have more applicants than apartments, but I can never promise timelines, but things do change. So I always encourage people to reach out if they're interested and at least kind of have an understanding about if it's the right fit.
And where can we find more information about the services ᓴᓅကိᔮακ?
We also have a website, a lot of information there, and it's the same deal. We also have our self-referral link on our website. And it's also the same way where we have limited family support workers. And so we want to make sure that the care that we are providing is thorough and attentive. And we don't want to just take on new families just for the sake of having more and more open files. So if the referral is not active there, it means that we're not taking new clients at the moment, and we have started wait lists. But our process is similar, where they'll reach out and we'll have a conversation just to see, are the needs that you are looking for, what we can offer you.
So my next question is also going to be my final question. How can us or our audience help support your program?
I have one. We have a lot of clientele who are Inuit, and we have a hard time bringing in Inuit programming. So we need help with that. If people wanted to reach out to Miyoskimin directly and say, hey, I'm willing to do this workshop, or hey, I'm willing to offer, I know this, I can teach this. I would love to come and, host a tea, like just something to help us build community. And I think that that's one thing we've learned from working with, as a First Nations person, like I understand my community, but for Inuit, like I'm not able to connect fully. There's a language there as well, right? And there's such a strong community. And I know that that's something that we need to bring here to better serve the women that live here. And I need help with that. So yeah, if there's folks who are listening to this who want to engage and want to help, we've got youth here who need to learn the language. We've got women here who speak the language who want to just engage in their language, whether it's having tea here or doing workshops. Like, we are more than open to welcoming people to help us build that sense of community that we know right now is missing and we need. So I would say that would be the biggest need, is to help us with our community building and support us in that way. But yeah, I think that would be the biggest thing, is finding Inuit elders, facilitators, folks who can come in and help us build that.
Thanks so much for having us here today. You guys are very welcoming. I love this program. It's very heartwarming, and I'm really looking forward to the development of the clients who get to come through here. I'm so excited that something like this exists, and I just want to say sincerely thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Te matua. Malu nakop mitia kaloko malakanga Larissami amalu Jan Pinsiuaqngit ayunangin limamata sapuchisia hatamatilut inuhutivut atnahutivut teikani tukisiriatitsiralarumatsungalu inutitumita kuningani uhalau yovunni takwaru Miyoskimin apartment Rio Sungummiut downtown Montreal Iluani Akne davani miungusut himavi rit tapata takuninganit Miyoskimin kuni kaysitsierunarayaqtu davani miunguriturunatu 3 to 5 years 3 to 5 aqaruni tekani 3 to 5 aqaruni imani saputio sia sungummiyut takuninganit ᓴᓅကိᔮ program kuni Sun lima atwinausia sungummiyu teikani ututitilu Louisa kisiani halunaititu empowerment worker layaunga hattatu piuyupalu hattasunit ajwinanginilima hattatu takwa davani miuyanit lagalarumatsungalu teikwa davani miungummiyut 50% Inuit ngummiyu Pimmarialu Rio hattatu takwa suratsatta titauriami teikani Ilautia sungummiyu kalua suratsattitsisuunit satorfikuni SQIA kuni rasakisiani hanu ikayutau runnaraya mangat aperik kainakaluarsunga kiusimatsutilut uppataurumasu inutuinanit teikuninga intuhatnut or tiitureituqumatsaruviutuutitillugut facilitator or animator suqatsatitsiisuunnit hininginilimaartuit teikani volunteereituqumatsaruvit atuinnersiassuungummiut tahkuningani haritauiakkut allaviuttausiarunnaqayaqmiyut ammalu tahkuninganit ilaurumaniatsaruvit sikutsayannittaqsaerunnaqayartutit haritauiakkut miyouskamen ammalu ᓴᓅကိᔮ tahkuninganit Native Women's Shelter of Montreal mi nuititauloqsimayu namanatia lahilauyummiyu tahkua inumari tavanimiungummiyut piaqaillut saputisiasuungummiyu tahkuninganit ilunnangi atautiku autuutitillugut pinsuuraqni hinihat taikwa tavanimiuyanit pinsuuraqni siutuapataq ikayuttaussiu suungummiut ammalu iliniariarumatsapataq ikayuttausiasuungummiyu qanlimaatsia uppinartusiaraapiummiyu nakutsasiassungalu taana nuititauloqsimayu tahkuningani saputiinginilmaartalaaqaluartunga nakumiralaq Jennifer ammalu Larissa nakumi Native Women's Shelter of Montreal or Nutami Atihalitmiu Isku Project ilunnasi atnani sapuchisuni hey ammalu go Habs go langinilima hatagate nakutsahut round 2 mu mulit matatakwa kisiani Buffalo mi bit bingwa hatihalo mi mata ipasa unnukut takwa Buffalo salahanga tiwini kisiani kayusikala laaqaluartugu ammalu takuningani hockey mitsanu uhaaqalalangaluartunga Eastern Door and North Hockey Team takwa yani waringutilu oha hatirilauiaqaluartaka wantaki kunit takwa National Indigenous Hockey Tournament mi mata Regina mi ayuinanginilimaktuit makkoni sala halikmayut atausiqmilu salahangitu simayo hey namanattipalu Mateo host savutullumit nakumirala rumaliqqumiuskamen ᓴᓅကိᔮ tahkuningani pinsuusuunit namanattusiapalu loyummilullu tusaumaralasimarata hanwiluli mangata inuqatiivu tamani Montreal mi silaqtuamillu ammalu laaqalarumatsunga takuningani takunaaqalarumatsaruvit haritauiakku Facebook ammalu YouTube mu takusau qalaarunnaqayaqmiu teemanga live feed hattasutalu ammalu teemanga lima live show suunguvugut amisualunit nuititsisuungummiyut hey ilauningitullu laqalarumatsunga nuvattuqalaugamani piluuqalautsungaluquituqattaa hattasunga niangu hattasunga ngittuusungaluut nakumitsia ilunnasi haissimaratsi Louisa Uvagut TV kuni pissimatsunga